Story time. Y'all been asking for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you. Now, bear with me because a lot of stuff go into this story. So here we go. First time I take my HIV test, I'm in prison. I've been in prison about 3 years, so I know how things work. They put me on the medical call out to go see the nurse. Now, normally when this happened, I'm finna get a TB shot. I saw this movie before. I've seen it a few times. That's what I'm thinking. Wrong. I get up there. She tell me I gotta take a mandatory HIV test. Now I'm concerned. So I give her the blood. I walk out the nurse station. The concern is on my face. I've been raw dogging since 10th grade. I know I got something. I just don't know what it is. So just so happened my uncle Billy Boy at the same compound as me. Billy Boy is on the rec yard on the corner of the track doing push-ups. He see me, he say, Nep, you alright? I say, man, no, I ain't alright. They just made me take an HIV test. He say, did you ask for one? I say, no. He say, Nep, I ain't trying to scare you. But normally when that happens, somebody on the streets then find out they got it and they wrote your name down as one of their last partners. I walked the fuck off. I got out of this because he ain't got no business being smart and knowing stuff right now. I ain't got time for his shit, so I walked off. When I got back around to where Billy Boy was at, he said, Nep, calm down. Listen, this how you could tell if you got it. You ain't got to go in there and talk to her so she could tell you. This how you'll know. If you go up there on that day to get your results and she in there by herself, you good. But if you go up there and there's 3 or 4 officers in there with her, they ain't there for no good news. They there to protect her because she finna tell you something real messed up and they don't know how you gonna react. I said, all right, cool. Now, it took about a week. During this week, I'm not eating. I don't want to eat. I'm concerned. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm getting smaller. I can just see the HIV eating me. I know I'm about to die. So I start writing my last will and testament. I'm confessing the things I probably shouldn't be confessing to. So we get down to the day I get my results. I walk up there, I look in the nurse station. She by herself. I say, I'm good. Yes, sir. Couple dudes going there, get their results. I look at their face just to make sure they ain't, all right, you good? Cool. So my turn to go in there. I walk in. I freeze right in my stride. I walk in there, and Sergeant Parrish is sitting in the back corner over here. Now, Sergeant Parrish is 6'3", 200 and everything. No neck, but he is chest, shoulders, and back. And he aggressive. I said, what the hell is he doing in here? She said, are you? I said, yes, I am. She said, well, Mr. So-and-so, we got your HIV test back. I got good news and I got bad news. I said, well, just give me. She said, you might want to sit down. I say, I'll stand. She said, okay. Well, you have an STD. And your HIV test came back and it was non-reactive. When she said non-reactive, in my mind, that meant my body's not reacting no more. That meant she tried to take a test and my body not doing it. My body finna shut down in the next 20 minutes. When she said non-reactive, my knees and my ankles left the room. I collapsed in the chair. I said, you ain't reacting no more? How long I got to live? She said, no, boy. Non-reactive is another word for negative. My knees came back. My ankle was right behind me. I say, so I ain't got it. She said, well, you do have trigonomas. My knees left. My ankle stayed this time. I said, true. Now, I always been bad at math, so now I barely passed algebra. So I know trigonomas, it ain't gonna be nothing good. She said, no, it's not really STD for men. I'm gonna give you these pills and you're gonna piss it right out. But from now on, you need to start practicing safe sex. I said, I'll lock the door every time I do it. If we finish here,